second series of the day here on Stream B. We're going to have some Chinese Dota, ladies and gentlemen. We've got IG up against Newbee. Two big boys of China.
Two teams who have probably played versus each other more than any other teams in the world. These guys definitely know each other super well. I mean, look at these bans coming out right away. We have a complete different switch around coming out from the other game, but one hero does stay similar in the bans, at least that we've been seeing, and like the popularity is the Death Prophet.
I was going to say, it must be someone in China that, you know, these teams, we saw it from IGV, we're seeing it from, as you said, these two already in this first series.
I know.
And it's a hero I feel like the rest of the world doesn't really play. I wouldn't expect to see too much from some of the other teams, would you? I
mean, we haven't really even... The thing is that we don't really see these teams too often, and they haven't played in... I mean, most of these teams haven't played in about a month, so people are definitely learning stuff from scrims and just seeing who's strong with what. I know OP does really like the Death Prophet. I know the Chinese teams also super heavily favor the Nyx Assassin and the Night Stalker still. The Lich is also the other one that's very questionable. I mean, I haven't seen much Lich. I don't really know a whole lot about the hero. I know there's a couple being played in the other games, but... So right away, we see the Nyx coming out for IG, first pick, and Newbee responds with Shadow Shaman and the Venomancer.
Got the mark there, bringing those two out. No hesitations at all.
The double wards coming out, Shadow Shaman, Veno. Good to siege.
It's pretty nasty. Yeah. I kind of hope this doesn't become a thing, the Veno and the Shaman. I mean, you say you think the Shaman's going to be kind of the hero of the tournament.
I think Shaman's going to be the hero of the tournament.
One of them at least.
I mean,
Shaman's alright, but Venomancer is a little depressing.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, we're day one. This is PI. Things are going to start. We're going to have a complete revolution of picks probably toward the end of it. We're going to see our Brood Mothers. We'll see our Visages. Big popular heroes that we've seen along the pub scene at least. So we'll see what comes out. But as of this comes out, this is more that we've been able to see, at least from a majority of teams.
Yeah.
These like three big kind of heroes, and then like Clockworks and stuff, and Night Stalkers and Earthshakers.
Would you imagine this is going to be a safe lane Veno from Newbee rather than the lane? I mean...
Seems like it would be more something that Mugi would play, that UU9. I guess he's using Mugi now for this.
Oh yeah,
instead
it
of
was between the two tags before, wasn't it?
So we'll just be calling him Mugi.
He's Mugi now.
But so people who don't remember, Mugi is UU9. So that seems more like a UU9 kind of thing.
I don't. It's just not. I don't think it's flashy enough really for it to be like an SCCC.
Yeah. I could even potentially see this on KP.
Okay.
That seems like a kind of KP thing, right? Yeah. We saw it work last game. They did like an aggro tri-lane with the Veno for Liquid. So IG quickly take their Darkseer. So they reveal a lot with this though, right? So they already know now Nyx is 4, Darkseer off lane.
Sure. That's true. They do know the Nyx's position.
Nyx can be pretty nice though to set up for those when, you know, Shadow Shaman is trying to set up on a tower. If the Nyx is positioned beforehand, you can burst him really quickly. You get a lot of information on the map, and they can kind of dual pressure with the Nyx Darkseer. It's not the same as like an Earth Spirit Darkseer or something along those lines, or the Slaughter Darkseer, which used to be super popular, not anymore. But it's not as powerful as that, but it can be something they can choose to try to have some pressure on that safe lane.
I mean, that's a hero we never see. I can't remember the last time I saw someone play a Slaughter.
Right? I feel like the last person I saw was GH play it or something.
Yeah, sometime back in Liquid. But
it's just gone. There's just too many good alternatives now.
And especially with, I guess, like what heroes like Veno coming into the fray, it's like you don't want to play a Slaughter against a Venomancer. It's just going to be kited up. You can't get the jump in that you need.
It seems like there's a lot of like just straight magic damage lineups too, where it's like Corrosive is cool to take Roche and stuff, but you know, everyone's building like so much magic damage, and team fight makes it a lot harder for a Slaughter who's he's not really a team fighter. Slaughter is those, he kind of is when he gets his blink, but he's a in and out kind of fighter. He always just wants to jump in, reset, not like this Ravage or something along those lines. But we see the Alchemist and the Bloodseeker bans.
And the Bounty ban. I mean, I'm most surprised, I'll be honest, by the Alchemist ban. That is a hero that... Well, there was a team that played it recently, but in just overall, that is... Some teams, you know, they don't look at that hero. They don't even think about the Alchemist anymore.
I've been seeing a little bit of rise of it, at least in high-level pubs. Played versus Ana a couple of times.
He's bringing it back?
Had to deal with Ana picking Alchemist in a couple pubs. It was pretty horrifying. Yeah. It's the same kind of concept. You just feel that pressure. You're like, that timing window. It's like, 14 minutes. He's got Armlet Radiance. It's still kind of similar. Neutrals were, of course, like nerfed and everything, but they got buffed again in the last patch by 10%. Bounty runes as well, always still super beneficial for Alch.
I mean, I guess
get rid of it is fine.
You could argue the change to neutrals actually is a buff to the Alchemist, because you have a higher quantity of creeps over the 2 minutes. You've got double, so you're going to have more chance for the greed procs. Yeah.
So can just be an annoying hero too, right? Just like obnoxious hero. Yeah. And like we said, these two teams probably have so much inside info on us, on each other, that we're gonna be like, we're not really gonna know what's going on with a lot of these bans. So it's gonna be very different. Void ban comes out. We saw the synergy with the Venomancer and Shadow Shaman, at least in the last game, even though Matu struggled to hit the greatest Chronospheres, you can still see the strength of the hero. I mean, Void's been like super popular in the last like.
Void has, yeah.
So like very high win rates.
I like that, you know. Void, he certainly is a hero to get excited about.
Yeah.
And a lot of players, I think that I think will be happy that he's kind of fitting back in as well. It feels like a hero. You know, a lot of players that seem to enjoy playing it. For big Void performances in the past.
What does Newbee want to go over here?
I'm interested if they do something a little different to maybe what we saw in the first series, like from such, or if they are going to stick with sort of it's kind of the meta picks from these other teams. Like
Newbee likes their Lycan. Could be a possibility.
Oh, we were talking about this, and we're not seeing it, and they're bringing. Mark, he looks absolutely massive on this thing. I'll tell you what.
I think it's the middle hero.
Is it always the middle hero's bigger?
I'm pretty sure, because the Void...
I don't know, he looks really big.
The Void last game was like twice the size of the Invoker.
It's something about that
on
middle
that screen.
spot.
I think it's the middle spot, yeah.
Alright, but yeah, as we were saying, we don't see a lot of it, but, well, Newbee there, fulfilling our prayers and giving us a bit of a treat, showing us that Slardar can still be relevant. I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was saying it's bad against the Veno. I guess if you had the Veno...
Yeah, it can be nice. Corrosive Haze with Shadow Shaman and Veno, you can easily sneak some Roches with that. Good versus good in the lane too. If they get like a Shadow Shaman crush, they have a lot of ways to just chase the lane out with the Slardar stun. Shadow Shaman disables. Both the heroes we were kind of talking about too. Visage now being grabbed up. This hero is extremely popular in pubs. We've been seeing it being ran mid a lot. The 1-2-4 build, 1-1-4 build. As soon as you hit 6, you're not only unkillable, but you're a huge nuisance, and you can gank, you know, globally kind of with your birds. Yeah, look how big he is in the middle there.
Yeah, it's definitely something about that middle spot. Yeah. It's got to be. But yeah, Visage is as well, as you say. That was one of the heroes that people kind of talking about coming into this one, saying that is the hero you've got to look for. I mean, if we're going to have a big rise in success.
I just can't believe like how similar this, I mean, sure, day one. We'll hesitate a little bit on it, but how similar these drafts are kind of looking like they were at TI4. Where the Shadow Shaman, Veno, the Earthshakers, these heroes were the most popular heroes at TI4.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna be. I'm trying to think back to other TIs. Do we see much variance from kind of the starting day of the group stage to the end, or?
Yeah, things change a lot.
Things can change a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Someone will hit a stride, and then people will look at the games at night and be like, okay, this hero just looks to be has like a 95% win rate or something. People will definitely start to change things up after the first day. So Newbee does really like their Tidehunter. So there's one hero that they have now for the big team fight.
Good old KP on his classic.
Yep. See, look at that Slardar next to Tidehunter, dude.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I've just always underestimated how small how big Slardar is.
I don't think he's like that big. He's massive. But Tide, that's gonna be pretty cool for them to actually be able to disrupt the wombo combo that IG has set up with the Darkseer that always comes out. You don't have to worry about it.
Still feels like they really do need that final SCCC big right clicker. So in terms of damage, I mean, sure, there's a lot of damage over the time from the Veno, but you know, once you get like a bruise on the Darkseer, you've also now got the heal from the Necrophos. It's a lot of ways that you can outlive that sort of team fight, and the side Newbee have, they don't really have that jump and splat. You know what I mean? And I expect that we will see that come from this final pick from SCCC.
Necro, as we saw in particularly Dream League, the Necro versus Tidehunter kind of thing, you can just Reaper Scythe and everybody uses all their nukes and you just instantly blow up the Tidehunter, and he actually can struggle to have Ravages come off. KP, though, is one of the more very farm-oriented kind of Tidehunters. He usually will be able to have like a mech or a hood or something. So they ban out the Ember, one of OP's absolute favorite heroes. The other big ones that stand out for me that he likes to play as well, like the Templar Assassin, the Tinker is one of his favorites.
Yeah, I think we might see the... I wonder if we see the TA from Newbee. I think that SCCC might want to get that. You know, one of the heroes that we did see picked all the time was Slardar.
Versus a Darkseer, so the Ion Shot can be pretty horrible, and Ghost Shroud.
Darkseer. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, true. I mean, I'd love to see the SCCC co-op.
I think Queen of Pain or Invoker.
I'd love to see that.
Queen of Pain or Invoker look okay for Newbee.
The thing is that Queen of Pain, I mean, I guess a lot of heroes do, but it can struggle a bit in the lane, kind of against the Visage.
Yeah.
It's.
Yeah. If that's right, so it could be a mid Visage.
If it's the mid Visage, I mean, to be fair, a lot of heroes struggle against a mid Visage. That's the problem there.
But you farm.
Yeah.
But kill threatening is completely different.
I mean, Razor, of course, yeah, understandable ban out there from IG. One of the, I mean, I think that pretty much confirms it's going to be a mid Visage. You know, that is one of the heroes that can do pretty well against the Visage. You know, gets some points to the passive. Certainly when he tries to use the Grave Chill to get away or chase you down, because they're slow in return, it doesn't work. It's useless against the Razor.
It's important, yeah. It's going to be the DK to round up that push lineup. They have the sustain coming out from Necro. They have Darkseer. This is like Darkseer and Dragon Knight used to be a thing we used to see all the time. And SCCC Ursa, as soon as they see the Dragon Knight, they're going to have that really good matchup. That's an amazing matchup for Ursa.
Yeah, he was instant on that pick.
Yeah,
I
think they knew that DK was coming.
Okay.
It looks like they definitely knew that one was coming with the speed of their pick.
Of course, the Burning Necrophos. That's what we're going to be getting in the safe lane for IG.
All right.
Go, kidding themselves out. I mean, overall, coming into this one, I mean, they were very confident with that counter pick in the mid lane. Overall, do you like Newbee's lineup in response, or like who are you thinking is coming out on top of this?
It's pretty tough actually, because they both have their their advantages. It's the lanes look a bit more advantageous for Newbee, I would say, especially because that mid matchup is horrifying, and bottom shouldn't be too simple at all either. So I would probably give Newbee a little bit more favor, but IG can hit their stride really hard. They hit their 6, they get their mech, they can actually just siege towers super hard.
I mean, I think as long as they can get level 6 in good time on Q.
Yeah.
Like, you just cannot underestimate how much this Visage can do. Just even just controlling SCCC during the ultimate, just having those familiar stuns, it's going to be incredibly annoying. But I guess at the same time, Ursa is kind of good at killing the familiars. You would just get the Fury swipes, and as soon as they come back up, having that quick attack speed, you have got a chance to kill them. So
you can get chain stunned really hard though. At the same
True,
time.
that's the thing. The kite potential of Q is going to be the bigger nuisance.
The supports on the side of IG require quite a lot. Like Nyx and Visage both are quite they're okay in laning phase, but they want the level 6s. They need the Vendetta familiars to really be significant heroes, because Soul Assumption's very expensive if he wants to go for that, for those type of kills. Same thing with the Nyx Assassin spells. KP, go down bottom.
Go, ladies and gentlemen. Getting ourselves into second series of the day here on this stream too. Newbee versus IG. Just a quick apology if you do not see the last hits in the net worth up on the top side. They're trying some things out with production. It should be fine, but if you do not see the net worth come up when I mention it, do let me know, because we'll let them know in return, and hopefully they can get it fixed as the day goes on. But hopefully at the moment you're seeing the last hits open. I've opened them. Hopefully they've opened them. So fingers crossed, everything should be sweet, and we'll get the tasty net worth up for you around the 10-minute mark. It's relevant, but go, ladies and gentlemen. In terms of overall lanes, you said what, KP heading down to the bottom. Are we seeing anything else surprising? Doesn't look like it. XXS is up on the off lane. OP. Q. Surge, Boca, Assassin, of course, leaving Burning in the safe lane, and the rest of Newbee. SCCC in the middle lane. Newbee actually with this tri-lane already coming across.
They're invading.
and Faith. Yeah, they want to try and do something here. I mean,
it's scary.
If they connect to Gale, it's going to be a kill.
Yeah, that's a very scary try. Newbee, I would say, probably has a little bit more advantage coming out of lanes.
Okay.
So the mid lane is going to be the big one to watch, and then just the mirror match of Kaka and Baboka will be the other things to definitely keep an eye on. And how much these offlaners are actually able to get. Is KP going to be able to get a good start in that offlane? It looks like he should be able to.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, XXS, will he be able to stick around here? That's the thing. There's a lot of disable between Kaka and, of course, Faith as well. And at this point where he's the level 1, still yet to skill. But if he does pop it into that shell, he is going to be incredibly vulnerable to getting caught out by Gale. It could be a very slow start for XXS. And yeah, with the 3 heroes sitting around here, it looks to be exactly what Newbee want to do. They just want to, of course, make sure that level 2 comes as slow as it can.
Yeah, this is really good for them. Because Q starts mid lane to try to make sure that Dragon Knight gets a good matchup. It's really hard matchup, DK versus Ursa. You can just be so susceptible to dying. He even starts with boots right away on Dragon Knight. You can see how pressured he is from laning versus that Ursa. So yeah, they start the dual lane mid, and that makes it so KP is going to be able to get a good chunk of experience down here bottom. But Baboka has Over Venom, so at least helps him zone a bit.
And not doing too bad as well, the zoning as well. Even with the Kraken Shell, level 1. KP still taking a fair bit of a beating, being brought down to half health.
Yep, the Heartstopper aura plus the Orb of Venom, definitely obnoxious. Mid lane, SCCC definitely suffering versus that dual lane. Like 3 CS, he does have a lot under his tower right now, but Dragon Knight leading by 10. or up to 10. Rotation now from Kaka, trying to put a little bit of pressure on Q. Casual right clicks, soul assumption back. He's just gonna keep hitting him.
Send a fair bit as well there.
Good chunk of damage.
On this top lane, did XXS? He's got the level 2 now, so feeling that a little bit safer in terms of being able to try and put some pressure on. Even with the Ice Shell though, still yet to get a single CS in this lane. Looks like Mugi's been doing a good job at controlling the creeps. Self-farm, and indeed we can see 8 denies, so it's going pretty nicely. Deep up here on this top lane for Newbee.
Oh, and Kaka's going to get the rune as well. Oh, doesn't even have to use the crush for it either. Just able to snag that one really quickly.
They can do to try and keep XXS slowed down in this opening part of the game.
And they even put like an aggressive ward too to watch whenever he is going to be jungling. KP is doing great, level 3 already. I believe Iron Talon already being delivered with more regen. So now he can start the jungling.
Look at this though, mid lane. Baboka grabs himself the invis rune from bottom. This should be a surefire kill with 3 of them here. I don't think there's any way that SCCC can play his way out of it. There's the first stun. They are going to have follow-up. Haven't got the biggest amounts of damage, but okay, there we have, just in time. Q says he'll take the first blood, saving the soul assumption to the last moment. Claims himself the kill.
The dream, the 2-minute invis room is the absolute dream for as a support. Just always seems to work like that.
Especially if you're something with a hard stun like Nyx.
Yeah, and Boca gets a D ward as well up on the high ground there. A fresh ward taken out. And then this is what we talked about in the last game too. So this is always the beauty about having like this Necrophos hero versus majority of offlaners is you can just leave him.
Yeah.
You can really just completely ditch him after he gets like a decent advantage at the start because you're mostly playing versus like melee heroes or something along those lines, and they suffer heavily versus Heartstopper. Pulse the Death Pulse. Newbee making the rotation, trying to catch OP in the mid lane, but they're not smoked up, and it's hard angle to approach. So similar kind of things coming out from both teams. Veno very self-reliant, same thing with the Necrophos. So, yep, they're just gonna have these. It's gonna be like these 2 kind of supports running around between lanes trying to find opportunities from both sides. KP just jungles, XXS just jungles. We have some mirror matchup going on right now.
Nothing too out of the ordinary. Faith getting a hefty stack coming up here as well. It's the timing here again. It looks pretty good, and then does a massive stack up there for Newbee. Which I mean, no matter who will they let farm this? Will they eventually the Veno farm it, or will they send like the Tide up to clean it?
Probably either. I mean, either of them can work. Yeah, they could have KP do it. Honestly, that would probably be pretty damn good for him because he doesn't have ancient stacks on. But he's stacking his own hard camp as the Tide Hunter.
Oh, okay, yeah, he is to be fair. So,
it would probably be the Veno to clear. Yeah, he's already starting to chunk it down. They don't want the Darkseer to be able to contest that.
Yeah, so that is the risk. If XXS just pops in and drops an Iron Shell. Make it a little trickier for Newbee to make sure they get everything out of it.
Kaka and Baboka are literally just like walking with each other the whole time so far this game. CS as well, almost even across the board. It's just Tidehunter is pulling a little bit ahead of the Darkseer. Lane OP getting a little bit of pressure onto him with the Earth Shock from the Eartha. So it's all about the maximization right now. Who can maximize the best right now throughout this laning phase? Top, we have that big pull coming out from Newbee. Bottom, it starts to happen now from IG. 2 junglers as well, continuing to jungle, and the 4 is just running around trying to put pressure on the offlaners or on the mid lane how they can. Kaka's just sapping experience and trying to steal neutrals from XXS while Baboka sits behind mid. So very, very similar playstyles to teams though.
Yeah, it seemed a little more passive than what we saw in the first series today between the IGV. I mean, what, 5.5 minutes in and only 1 successful takedown. Keeping to themselves otherwise. Cute. Getting around and a bit of Bernie. See what sort of a build comes out. Going to be the sort of the brown boots Midas that we saw from Matumbaman. Wait, was it Matumbaman? No, it wasn't, was it? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was Matu.
It was Matu that we saw in the first game of the day. Soak up some XP as well. As Mugi clear up that camp, bottom lane, bit of a wraparound being looked for from Baboka as they have their eyes towards KP.
Very hard kill before Necro 6. If they have the Necro 6 they can, or maybe if DK tries to rotate, but that'd be a pretty bizarre one. KP, almost level 6, almost the Arcane Boots as well. And he's able to pull the creep wave off the tower, so he's getting a lot of experience here. This was the first catapult wave, so really important to which team can defend their tier 1 during this one. It looks like both teams are actually it's like exactly the same. 400 HP on the Radiant Tower, 400 HP on the Newbee Tower. Literally identical movements coming up from these teams.
The question is, when are we going to see it all kick off? Well, I guess level 6 is the aim of the game for these supports, and Visage and Faith. Until they have the wards, the Lilias before they go. I say that, no, Faith wants to go now. Kaka says, come on. Kaka, as we've seen, he's been moving around a lot, but not a huge amount that he can do on his own. He does need to have that follow-up.
It's the same exact look, they're both doing the same exact movement.
Yeah, Popoka coming in with success in the relative neighborhood.
Gets the rage off.
That's going to take him down fairly low after the rage falls off, but he's going to tango up, and it looks like he may just survive it, and indeed, in fact, it's going to be OP the one to be punished as the counter gank comes from Newbee. And Jens, S-Triple-C, I can't believe he only just
barely
lived there. Tangoing up through that remainder of the tick damage from the Dragon Knight ultimate.
The mirror movements, but also Newbee not only get that kill, but they also take that top tower, so big win there for them for this. Gets himself some nice aggressive wards as well.
Yeah, certainly Fortune starting to slip back the way of Newbee. A lot of farm as well on this Venom.
Yeah, and
a lot of that's that large camp, of course, but still, it's pretty impressive. 62 CS before that 8-minute mark.
That's very high. And the great thing is, too, that with their lineup, the way that they built with the Ursa, the last pick, is fighting around that Roche pit for IG is actually impossible. Because now they're going to have everything set up. Venom ward set up with a Ravage potential. Once S-Triple-C has his mask, Morbid Mask, there's like no way that IG can actually contest that. Even if they have everything online, it's too hard to run into Venom wards with the threat of a Ravage. And Shadow Shaman should be 6-2. It's just going to be way too much for them to deal with around the pit. Too much chaos.
Looking at KP as well. What kind of build do you expect from him? Will he just go for the mech, or could we see a blink rush? KP, he's one of the ones who does sometimes like to prioritize the blink.
Yeah, he's varied. He's definitely done the blink rush. I've seen him do the mech rush. I've seen him do like the hood even sometimes, but for the most part it is, yes, the blink. He actually just straight rushes it too.
Yeah. May indeed see that again this game. Still yet to queue anything up, which probably out of anything does lead towards just saving up for that blink money. So, Kaka having a bit of pressure being put on him by XXS and Baboka as they shove the lane. But actually going to see a potential attempt on Roche, but S-Triple-C straight into the pit.
Yeah, does
he get away with this?
He should be able to. I mean,
you don't think they'll send anyone to check?
I don't think that they really expect it. The Venomancer goes mid, starts setting up the wards. He just makes his way there. I don't think that they really can contest it either with their low amount of levels and their weak team fight in comparison to Newbee with this Ravage.
Maybe they could have checked, because they did scan. The Radiant actually scanned by the Ancients, you know, just sort of where the ward was, and it was actually a little too late. Maybe if that hit a successful read, then they would have known that S-Triple-C was smoking past it, but indeed the timing wasn't there, and S-Triple-C gets away with it. Massive play there for the Ursa.
Yep, the slow pace is definitely benefiting Newbee so far.
Yeah.
So I just was looking actually at a couple of KP's games as his Tidiner. So the recent ones he did just go for actually Pipe Guarding Greaves, no blink.
Okay. Oh, that's how he's doing the same. He's got
so this one he's got the hood already queued up. I mean, he's playing versus a super magic-oriented lineup. They actually have very little physical on the side of IG. Bottom, Q. Is level 6 on the Visage. He's got the burst since they actually commit the Ravage for him, and that's an easy kill.
I mean, it's a scary hero, you know.
Yeah.
You throw everything at that Visage, support or not. Get that hero out of my game.
Look at this, and now even the Venomancer is going to have a hood too. So they're all going to just build massive amounts of magic negation because, like I just said, IG's lineup is pretty much all magic damage.
I mean, these familiars, they're coming in.
And the Gale, though.
Do they get away with this? Oh, no. Yeah. Slow too much.
They're so fast, though. The speed on those familiars is crazy, being able to run people down. So secondary catapult wave, IG is actually able to at least capitalize on that a bit and get the tower down to almost dead. So it's gonna be put in deny range after the next shot, and it is actually from the corrosive breath. But that being said, Newbee also able to get bottom tower cleaned up with the first use of the Shadow Shaman ward. So just objective gaming coming out from Newbee, and it's definitely playing into their advantage. 2-1, 2k gold lead, and now continuing that siege onto mid lane. Everyone's healthy. They've got the hood on the Veno, and Kaka's about halfway toward that blink on the Slardar.
Yeah, and getting these towers is and the Roshan is certainly going to help the team as a whole get those blinks just on Kaka, but also S-Triple-C, who, well, with this tower, should be very close to having his own done, especially when you get the last hit on it. Indeed, he will. So just 250 or so gold to go, and that is going to be blink done on the Ursa. It's certainly scary for IG then in that matter of sense. I've nearly got the rod on burning, just a recipe short.
And OP almost has the Shadow Blade at least finished off too, so they can at least try to do some aggression. It's just about being able to deal with that Newbee 5-man, especially because they have that Aegis so early. And Newbee doesn't really. I would probably think that they don't feel too like pressured to do stuff now. They're probably like, okay, we can just farm Kaka's Blink Dagger. But that being said, top focus set up with burning. Easy kill.
And easy with the side kill. Indeed it is. That's going to be the Slardar down for 35. And a painful one as well for Newbee, being that he was so high on that money in his pocket as he was trying to make that jump towards the Blink Dagger. That will certainly set that back.
Economy game though. Tidehunter with Ancient Stacks, Venomancer farming as well. Same thing with Shadow Shaman. They do have the blinks, but the big one is definitely the Slardar blink for them to get those big invading plays if Tidehunter is going to be going for this type of build. And they have good vision, at least. They can see like Burning's farming. They know the Darkseer is trying to still catch up because he did not have a good laning phase nor start. 0-0 and 0, but he was heavily pressured and he was being chased around by a Slardar and getting his creep stolen. So almost mech finished up at least for XXS, but it is going to be coming out at quite a delayed amount of time. Especially because they have all 3 tier 1s cleaned up. It's actually pretty surprising.
And we'll see if Newbee want to go for something as well with this. I see with the Blink Dagger, Faith does have smoke in his pocket. They try and go for a bit of action. They've got Kaka as well.
They're gonna. Okay. So they're probably expecting like Mugi to get ganked because IG was playing around that top side, so they're gonna like sit behind him and hope that that does happen again. IG is playing in the sides here. They don't see any information on the map though. They have one ward placed behind where the Veno is, but the other lanes nobody's showing. Now they see KP bottom. Maybe now they try to see and get maybe more information, but Boga starts to scout out with this Vendetta, and he should get a lot of info from this.
Comes in with the Shadow Blade as well, spelling the smoke.
Oh, he's actually able to snipe the courier with that Vendetta.
Alright, add the Ogre Club on, so that
nice. So that was a pretty fortunate Sentry Ward actually coming out from Newbee though. They placed it as they were pushing that top lane, and that's how they caught that they know that OP actually has the Shadow Blade, so OP just want to do some scouting and stuff, and gets noticed right away. And Newbee continuing to pressure now. Tier 2 Siege. Everything is online for them. It's literally just them dictating the pace of the game while IG's just like, we need to just kind of farm fighting 5v5, and their lineup is just way too hard after that advantage they have. Baboka. Kaka actually places the Tinker Ward, and he sees Baboka. Can he get in range? Yeah.
Well, it looked like he was letting him go there. But he's just playing around with this Nyx Assassin. Should get the kill. I mean, Baboka still has a stun, but with that Triple C in the neighborhood, I mean, it's unlikely he gets away. He just will run out. He's got a blink on the Ursa, and indeed, he comes in for the finisher. There's Triple C, grabs the kill.
Good distribution of resources by Newbee, too.
Straight away, though, the ping was there. You know, he knows the ward's there.
Yeah. So they had at least, like, the Veno bottom. Tide was also, like, kind of jungling, while the Ursa and the Slardar go for that kill. So, yeah, they're just definitely having some crisper movements coming out from Newbee overall. Being said though, IG seem to be they seem to be content with this farm. They've got the Atos finished up, almost a secondary Atos on Q, and now the mech is online. So those are the big item they have is the mech now for the Dragon Age. Are they going to be able to make anything happen of it, or do any like big sieges? I think it's still going to be very difficult versus the side of Newbee.
As we're seeing, Newbee, if they catch anyone with a corrosive and a Ursa jumping in, very hard for IG to save them, and IG themselves, they are going to look to try and force something with this smoke.
Did you hear that?
Did you hear?
The Dire are scanning. They added that.
Is that new?
I definitely have never heard that before. I just heard the Dire are scanning, so that had to have been a new little voice thing.
Dire scanning.
I don't think I'm imagining that one, so that was cool. Okay, I didn't know that it actually says anything for that. So Dire scan off the mark. But they're all posted up now on this high ground, 4 heroes. Still no Slardar Blink Dagger, but actually looking to invade.
Pretty good jump from IG coming around like this. They are prepared. Look, as Triple C's hiding in the tree, they know that Mugi is going to be jumped on by the looks of it. And yeah, IG actually deciding against going for that fight around that position, which...
That's a hard place to fight versus Veno wards.
Pretty deep.
Tidehunter can just TP on the shrine and it can be an absolute disaster.
And so again, as you've been saying it, Newbee just being that slightly more efficient with their movements and with their farm.
Yeah. KP has a big chunk of gold. He can buy the full mech if he wants to. He can just buy a straight blink if he wants to also. See which one he wants to. He has the mech in his quick buy, but he hasn't purchased it just yet. He's making the decision.
I mean, do you think he's thinking of buying a full-out Blink Dagger? Or is it just the surprise of being able to just buy the mech as a whole and turning it to a fight? And
I don't know. He's got the gold for it. He's kind
yeah.
of just chilling still. He's just like, maybe I can just get an even bigger item or something.
Radiance, let's go. See what KP does want to do. He almost said, I'm sure he will just pick up the mech.
I mean, the hood.
You sometimes see players do this where they just stockpile the gold.
The pipe and the Guardian Greaves are just they're just super good this game for him and his first team.
Oh, again, I think this is IG indeed. Yeah, looking for another smoke. It didn't really work out too great last time. They want to try and go for it. They want to keep control of this Roshan, but you know, Roshan is going to be up soon. We're going to see the respawn time very shortly.
They're just, I mean, they're feeling very pressured. They're like, we're a full magic damage lineup. It's 17 minutes in. We're not really able to do an aggression. And once Newbee does get actual BKBs, like especially on this Ursa, they have like no way to really kill him unless the Reaper sight comes out first. So KP buys up the full pipe and buys a button. So that's what he was deciding.
Here we go. They're going in with a vacuum. It's only going to catch KP. There's going to be jump back in return. Kaka gets caught up by the two-man stone from Baboka. Wards are dropped, but they're fighting around the Shrine. The Shrine heal more than enough to offset the damage from the Reapers. The Gale connects onto Burning. Burning pops the Shroud, trying to get himself out, but Kaka back in again with the blink. Hits the Crush onto two. Burning's down. The Visage Bird's falling low. Face got the Shackles controlling up XXS on the back of it. Another Crush finishes off a second as it's SCCC picking up the double kill. And I mean, we kind of felt that was going to happen, but why? That was not the place to fight. They knew last time when they came around and they backed off. But they were just seemed too desperate and set on trying to make something happen, and it did not pay off at all there for IG as they lose 3. I mean, they've got the corrosive haze on Baboka. He's got to run. Maybe even losing more. We'll get a spike Carapace off in time, and looks like that will be enough to save him, but
still
not great. Not great from IG.
I mean, you think you hit the nail on the head there. Like you said, desperation is really what it's coming down to. They just feel like they have the early, they wanted to have like the early lead. They wanted to be the ones sieging towers and pushing, but they just can't because of the way the lanes went. It's almost 8,000, more than 8,000 gold lead now.
Oh boy.
For Newbee, and it's only 2-6. So it's not like it's this massive kill advantage. It's this objective kind of scenario that's happening that's letting them just build further and further ahead through their farm. And I mean, fighting into this Tidehunters just seems impossible. Now mech is about to be finished too with the pipe. All of IG's damage is just completely negated. And there's so much CC as well on the side of Newbee. We saw the two-man crush into a Ravage, into another two-man crush. It's just very difficult for them to play into this. And now, Ursa with BKB.
This really feels like a game where Newbee have to do something pretty throwy for this one to fall back around. So as you've been saying, it's just everything that IG wants to try and do. Newbee just have an answer for it now. Roshan back up, SCCC into the pit, feeling confident, knows that he can commit and have very little worry about IG being able to do anything about taking it.
Yeah.
They're going to get it for free.
He's got the Dream as well. Like, he's already got the BKB, he's got the Mess, he's getting the 3 Roshes back to back at like the 10-minute mark, and now successively at the 19th, building toward that Diffusal as well. Really just the Dream items that he's going for versus the Necrophos and versus the Darkseer to remove the Ghost Shroud and the Dirge.
Got a bit of an ancient stack here for OP. Item-wise, after the Shadow Blade, still looking for the BKB himself.
Having to commit the Dragon form just when he wants to just be able to farm Ancients. They're not hitting towers, might as well. KP finds OP. They're starting to chase him out. Shadow Blade's on cooldown. They get the Corrosive Haze too.
He's gonna with the TP out. That might be enough. No, they'll pop the Ravage for that one. Make sure they get the DK kill, and yeah, he's down without buyback as well. 50 seconds.
I don't even think they need the Ravage for big team fights anymore.
No,
just because of the pipe in the mech and just how far ahead they're getting.
They can just run down lanes.
Yeah, but Kaka actually just finds Baboka farming neutrals casually.
I mean, I don't think Baboka's getting back to base.
I think Baboka's dead. There's a Shadow Shaman coming too. He's holding on to the stun.
There's no way that this Nyx gets out of there. And indeed, Faith says, I'll take the kill.
And they're pressuring mid too.
Yep.
Newbee's just playing way faster and way better overall. It's much faster and just understanding what they need to do in their game and what they need to run a game like this. Like they were like, okay, we need to just like kind of farm it up for a bit, wait for Slaughter to blink, let them smoke into us. It's exactly what happened. They definitely have a very good feel on the pace and what they believe IG wants to do.
This is becoming very one-sided indeed. 11k gold lead, 21 minutes in.
It's getting grim.
IG with very little ways of turning this one around. I mean, even when the BKB's done on the Dragon Knight, it's just not going to be enough. In terms of a change done, as you say, you know, maybe if they get Millias out on top of the Impale and then the Reapers, they can kill at least one. But dealing with the team as a whole, it's seeming pretty impossible with the way that Newbee's built themselves up at this stage.
Yeah, it's crazy how much it really is, because look, which one do you want to deal with? It's like, who do you really burst down? Because everyone, the cores are an issue. All three of those cores are big issues. Mugi hasn't even spent any of his gold. He's sitting on 4,000. Has the full Hurricane Pike in his quickfire. OP. Scouted out by the wards. They get another deep one down. Uh-oh.
It's going to be the Dragon Knight gone again.
They're just all split up. IG's just... everyone's just kind of farming on their own, and they're in a position where they're probably all talking. They're like, well, we don't really know how to group up. We can't team fight Newbee. We can't push towers. We can't get to objectives. So we just need to farm. And I mean, when you farm and get split up like this, it's bound to lead into pickoffs. And yep, Newbee. Good away high ground. They still got Ravage in about 20 seconds, and they've got the Shadow Shaman wards.
They just jump straight in as well as they see Paboka. Poor old Paboka on the front lines. Forced in aggressively, and that will give them the space to get a tower at least. With this wards down, very little reason for them to back off. Diffusal Blade complete on SCCC as well now, and he just goes straight in. Burning with the Ghost Shroud.
He purges it just for good measure.
He doesn't, yeah. SCCC just purges it, just backs off, takes the racks. The melee racks will fall in the middle lane. 15k gold lead. Obviously, we've not been able to watch the other games, but I wouldn't say this one should be far off of being the most one-sided game we've had so far here.
Yeah.
As this is quite the lead indeed. And a game as well, as we've been saying, where it looks like there's very little that IG can do to turn it around. Maybe some amazing vacuum wall play, but still, it's just... the draft is not kitted out to play a game at a 15k gold deficit 23 minutes in.
No, you want to be ahead. You want to be the one dictating the pace. You want to be the one having them run at you with 5 heroes and you're sieging a tower and doing that kind of death ball, but it's the opposite. Yeah, Newbee's doing the death ball. I mean, I don't want to keep saying it, but this is looking similar to TI4, man. Look, we've got this Venomancer on one team, we've got this 5-man death ball kind of lineup where IG kind of struggles versus it, and I mean, it's looking successful. Very successful for Newbee. So, by the way, guys, I know there is a little bit of a bug going on right now, and it's not showing other heroes' items. It's only stuck on Ursa. We apologize for that. It happened for a bit now, and we weren't able to really do anything about it. So, we know that is happening.
That's pretty annoying. Yeah. But apologies, ladies and gentlemen. It should be... it's day one LAN, okay? We always have issues. I mean, it's TI, but even TI doesn't apparently escape that exception. Day one LAN, ladies and gentlemen. But they'll be on it, don't worry.
We can update you really quick.
We'll send them some angry messages. Don't worry, boys. We got you back.
Show them all the items really quick, Owen. Get that thing up.
And what's the button for that one?
I think it's F5, I believe.
Is that not pause?
I hope not. Well, for me.
Oh, I pressed it. There we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Now you guys can see all the
items. No, I don't think they can see that either.
Oh, can they not?
I don't think they can see that either. Check on the stream. Watch the stream fog. You can get it up. Okay, it won't pick up on my line. They can't see that either.
Oh no, they can't see it. You lost.
You can't see it. Sorry, Twitch chat. You have to level up your compendium to level 3000 if you wish to see multiple heroes. Unfortunately, you can only afford one of them at the moment.
Well, we do have IG now. They go for a big smoke wrap around. It's into Aegis and Cheese, though.
There's the jump in. OP comes forward, but he immediately gets ripped apart by SCCC. XXS is down as well as he's stuck in the wards. Now just forcing the rest of them back. SCCC jumps forward onto Burning. Ghost Shroud isn't going to protect him when the Diffusal Blade is there in the hands of the bear.
And it's just...
and GG's cool. I mean, to be fair, you didn't need to see the other heroes, ladies and gentlemen. Who could they see the items of? Except they could just see the bear.
I think they only see Ursa still.
They only see SCCC?
Yeah.
Well, there we go. You only need to see SCCC. The game was rather one-sided. Well, I don't know if we can fix the hero problem. I mean, we'll let them know. In the first series, did we?
No, we didn't have the first. It should be fine. We'll let them know, and we should be able to fix it for the next game. But this one was literally Newbee just doing everything right this game, reading all the movements.
Perfect for them.
Yeah, absolutely.